Spiderman and the Green Goblin are one of the greatest arch nemesis pairs of all time. We've had no shortage of this matchup in various forms of Spider-Man media, and as a result, there's also no shortage of action figure options for both characters. These figures deserve a place to settle their score once and for all. This is the story of how I made them a 1/12 scale action figure battleground. The first thing I need to do is choose which figures will represent good and evil in this story. I have a lot of options for Spider-Man, and although Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man is my favorite, this CT Toys Spider-Man with a custom head will be today's hero. I have much less in terms of figure choices for today's villain, just two options from the Marvel Legends line. I decided to go with this one, the Marvel Legends 2-pack Green Goblin from this Spider-Man the Animated Series set. Now it's time to figure out what kind of scene I want to create. These two have fought atop bridges, rooftops, inside warehouses, and beyond. But to me, Spider-Man and the rooftops go together like peanut butter and jelly. So that's what I'm going to make. We all know Spidey will come equipped to the battle with his web shooters, and Green Goblin will have his signature glider. But I'm also showing up to this duel with a special gear, the xTool S1 diode laser cutter and engraver, courtesy of today's video sponsor, xTool, which will help me turn my 3D design for this project into a real tangible object. I used the S1 to laser cut and engrave some 1/8 inch MDF, the material that will make up 90% of this build, which I purchased from Smoky Hill Designs. I love this machine. It's so easy to use and processes things much faster than my FDM and resin 3D printers. In fact, I think the total processing time for all my cuts took less than 2 hours. 3D printing this project is possible, but would have taken days, not hours. And if you're thinking to yourself, I wish he was scratch building this, I do have other videos on my channel that show you how to do that. Please check those out after this video. Before this project, I had never used this machine to engrave bricks, but I'm happy to say these settings allowed me to get some nice, deep engraved lines that I'll fill in to mimic brick mortar later. I mentioned earlier that the FDM only made up 90% of the build. Part of the other 10% is made up of XPS foam, a classic diorama building material. I cut the foam to size using my Proxxon hot wire cutting table so I could use it to create a foam skeleton of sorts that made the assembly process easier and also added some stability and durability to the project. I used some wood glue, woodworking squares, and clamps to bond the MDF and foam together at nice, clean 90-degree angles. And as I hoped, this method yielded a solid structure sturdy enough to house a battle between super-powered foes. As good as this looks assembled, I need some embellishments for the building facade to simulate a more realistic looking building. So I cut up and engraved some trim pieces, which I glued together, then flipped over my diorama and carefully glued onto the main structure using my carpenter squares to apply some pressure as the wood glue set everything in place. Once dry, it was time to prep the MDF for paint. I used a wood finish to do that, so I could reliably spray paint the entire model using some Rust-Oleum slate gray. If I hadn't done this, the paint job would have appeared blotchy because MDF absorbs paint. This allows the paint to sit on the surface of the MDF. Then I gave this thing a zenithal highlight by spraying a lighter color from above to simulate an overhead light source like the sun or moon. Shout out to my friend Boylai Hobby Time for this tip. After that, I used these three colors to create a varied brick color paint job, spraying in somewhat random motions to avoid creating a pattern. And I used the same spraying motion with the roof, I just used one color here though. Once that all dried, I sealed my paint job with this, so it wouldn't be ruined when I filled in my laser cut engraving lines with lightweight wall spackle. This is what I use to mimic grout and brick mortar. I used an old gift card to lightly spread the spackle into all the crevices, while also removing the excess from the surface. I opted to use my finger on some of the facade piece areas because the staggered brick made it nearly impossible to get the gift card into those areas. When it all cured, I doused the entire model in a black wash and then blotted it up with a paper towel. I did the same thing with a brown wash to mimic rain weathering on the facade and the building roof. I really liked the way this came out, so I moved on to getting the windows ready. which were designed and printed by me and then paired with some Dollar Tree vegetable cutting mats to give a nice opaque window look. I used some clear Gorilla Glue to assemble the parts and then used wood glue to permanently bond them to the model once the super glue dried. What's cool is, if you put an LED under the diorama, you can mimic lights on inside the building. I was really pleased with the look of this building, so I made another one. Having two of these means I can stack them side by side or on top of each other, giving me more options for photography and display. And the versatility doesn't end there. This diorama was designed to fit in an IKEA detolf. It can be paired with the 14-inch by 14-inch backdrops I sell, or the 30-inch by 16-inch versions of my backdrops. If you're wondering how I made these, the answer is that I didn't. Well, kind of. These were designed by me using Photoshop, but a few years ago I started working with a third-party printing partner to get these produced using Ultraboard, a waterproof material that is rigid enough to stand up using these 3D printed stands. If you're interested in grabbing some of these to use with your figures, check out the links in the description. Okay, now that my shameless plug is over, I can move on to some of the test shots for the final battle between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. I had a ton of fun doing this, but felt I needed more in terms of rooftop accessories to really sell the scene. So I got to work on building a chimney, using the same methods as I did for the building model combined with some 3D printed exhaust pipes. But this first chimney felt too big, so I made a smaller version. I also printed up these smaller hooded chimneys and a rooftop access ladder, then prepped everything for paint and hit these with a zenithal highlight. I prepped the MDF chimneys with a wood stain and then painted them the same way I did the buildings. The only difference is that I masked the top portion of the chimney so I could paint it a different color than the brick. And here's how those accessory pieces looked once they were complete. But I still felt I didn't have enough accessories, so I designed and printed this, a little HVAC duct and vent set that I painted up and then installed magnets in so I could do this. These magnets are strong enough to hold this in place through the 1/8 inch MDF. This wasn't something I had planned for, but it was a nice surprise. And then I got the HVAC duct itch and made this much larger version designed to fit atop the building roof. This one doesn't have any magnets, it's just designed to be modular. If you have a 3D printer and want any of these files, you can get them on my Etsy or if you're one of my pledged patrons. And speaking of my patrons, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all of them. I really hope you all enjoyed watching me make this. I know I had a blast putting the diorama together, especially since it pairs so well with all of the city skyline backdrops I've released over the years. During the video, I mostly used my blue day backdrop, but if you're wanting to capture a night scene, my dark blue night and red night backdrops can help you do that. And I almost forgot to show you how this looks with an LED on under the building. Even though I chose to use this Spider-Man figure as my hero in today's story, these rooftop dioramas are the perfect display for any Spider-Man figure. So no matter who's your favorite Spidey or other rooftop dwelling dispenser of justice, this diorama will be a great home for your favorite action figures. Huge thanks to xTool for sending me the xTool S1 and for sponsoring this video. Speaking of xTool, I'm an xTool affiliate, so if you'd like to get yourself an xTool S1 or any other laser cutter or accessories that they offer, please use my affiliate link in the description and I will receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. And if you like Spider-Man content, I think you'll really enjoy these videos next.
Vasco Toys. Action figure dioramas and props.